Hey, what's up, my Python programmers? I am so proud of you for sticking through all this crazy coding business. You guys are doing such a great job. Hang in there. I know Chapter 6 got a little tough with functions and procedures, but it just keeps getting better, and you'll become stronger programmers as you progress through the units. All right, here's a little tutorial I created. So basically, here it is. They want you to fix the errors so that it prints, my name is John and I am 18 years old. So let's go through line one first. So you're defining, you're setting up your function. So you have name and age, name string, and the age integer over here. Okay, that looks fine. Then for your function, you want it to print this right here, and it's a concatenation right here. So we are going to look at my name is. Well, first of all, that's a string. So that needs to have quotation marks around it. Okay, then name string is one of your parameters right here. So name string does not need to have quotation marks around it. So you have to concatenate those two with a plus sign, okay? And then you also need to concatenate again with a plus sign, okay? And I am needs quotation marks around that because that's a string. Then you have your plus sign here to concatenate that. Then you take out your quotation marks because this is what is going to turn your integer into a string so that it prints properly. Then you are going to need to have another plus sign, which that looks great over there. But this is a string. Years old is a string. So that needs to be in quotation marks. And I just threw a period in here just for correct grammar's sake. Okay, so let's review this again. So you have print, you have a string here, my name is, plus sign, name string, plus sign, and I am. Okay, I see some things wrong here so far. We need to make sure there's a space after is, or else our sentence is going to look all smushed together. I'm also going to put a space before the and. I'm going to put a space after am, and I'm going to put a space after my quotation marks. That way it doesn't look all smushed together and it has some spaces in it when I run this program. Okay, let's look at the next line. So first of all, you don't need another print here, okay, because all you have to do is call the function. Hello, function, come back. So if you put print, I'll show you what happens. We'll leave print here and then we'll go back over it in a minute. Okay, let's look over here. So you're listing first name string and then age int. But down here, you're listing an age and then a name string. So this is backwards. So we have to flip-flop this. So we're going to put John here and then comma and then 18 there. That way it matches. Okay, let's run this. Okay, so you have, my name is John and I am 18 years old, none. Well, I mean, it's fine, it runs and everything, but if you notice, the reason I took off points if you had none, I just took off about 3 points. But if you're a perfectionist like myself, you're going to want to answer the question properly. This says fix the errors so that it prints my name is John and I am 18 years old. Not my name is John and I am 18 years old, none. Okay? So let's go ahead and go back. And all you have to do here, since you've already told the function to print this concatenation over here, you don't need to say print again. All you need to do is just call the function. So when I call the function, it's going to print out, my name is John and I am 18 years old. Boom, done. And then if you can see here, All I did right here was just simply call the function that I defined earlier. Okay, real quick. When you have code that prints out like this and you're taking a screenshot to submit for an assignment, and this code looks like it's overlapping the answer and I can't read it, some of you have been just or minimizing the box here so that I can see that you have the right answer. But the problem with that is I can't see your code. So what you're going to need to do in that case, if this ever happens in the future, is copy your code. Just right click and copy, and then send it to me on a Word document. Or what's easier is just drop it in the comment section on where you submit your assignments. That way I can make sure that you have the right code, okay? Because I really need to check and see. Because you could always print out, my name is John and I am 18 years old. You could just make that one giant string and just print it out and you're good to go. But that's not what they're asking you to do here. It's kind of like a cheesy way to get around that. So make sure that I can see your entire code. If it overlaps, copy and paste it into the comment section of your assignment submission. Alrighty. I just want to also show you some coding fun that I just did in my spare time just because I just love this stuff. So the goal here is to print my name is whatever. Basically, the reason I put whatever here is because you want this parameter right here. You want to be able to put in any name for this. And I am any number of years old. You want the person to be able to put in whatever or how old they are. Okay? So just like in the example we went over, you're defining name and age, same thing that I just went over. We're going to want to, actually, I want to show you what happens when we print it out like this. Let's just go ahead and run this. Okay, check this out. This is what I was talking about before. So this says, my name is Rose and I am 20 years old. You see how is and Rose and are all connected? This is not a word. This is Rose and. That's not what you want. And then am 20 years old or am 20 years is all smushed together. No good. Okay? So what you want to make sure you want to do is you need to go back, put a space after is, you want a space before and, or actually you don't even have to. Let's test it out. And then a space after am. All right, let's go ahead and test that out. You could always just play around with your spacing. Okay, so now I have my name is Rose and I am 20 years old. So now we still have the Rose and the and connected and the 20 and the years connected. Still no good. All right, I'm going to put a space right here before the and I'm going to put a space before the years. And now I'm going to run this again. Oh yeah, that looks good. My name is Rose and I am 20 years old. Okay, here's the problem. My name is not Rose, and although I wish I were 20 years old, I am totally not 20 years old. So what I want to do here is I want to change this to my real name, which is Jillian. And unfortunately, well, I guess luckily, because I'm not, I guess dead yet, I'm 40 years old. So I guess that's a good thing, but kind of still old. Anyway, if I run this, save it, run it. All right, there you go. And you can put in anything you want for that. Okay, let's go over some more things you can do here. So I can do, a bunch of different things. So instead of defining it and well, I did define it, but instead of typing print here, like I showed you before, I could just call the function, take out these parentheses. All right, let's save this and run it. And then what happens? Returns nothing. Okay, that is basically, I'm just telling it to return. Basically what a return does is it stores code for later use. Okay, so that's not my goal. My goal is I want to print something. So I'm going to take that return out and I'm going to print over here, file, save. I'm going to run it. Okay, there you go. My name is Jillian and I am 40 years old. Okay, so all I did here was call the function. I did not have to type print twice. Okay, let's go ahead and print, or let's type print again here, and we're going to leave print up here. So now we have print twice. We have print here, our function says to print, and then we're printing what it says in our function here. So let's try that. Oh yeah, we get that none here. Okay, my name is Jillian, I'm 40 years old, none. Okay, so we don't need to type print twice. Okay, we can just call the function. Okay, a few other cool things that you can do. Put this up here. I put it in as a comment because I didn't want it to run while I was testing this code out. But what I did up here is I wrote some code. Okay, so it says print, type your first name. Then I put the name string in here equals some kind of input from the user. And then it's going to print how old are you? And then it's going to put, or it's going to require some input from the user. So let me comment this out because I don't want to call the function. Okay, so let's just leave that here. Let's run this. Type your first name. Move this down here. Okay, Jillian. How old are you? 40. And then it returns nothing. What's going on here? Okay, well, I need to put the function in here. I need to call the function. But then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just put name string and then age int. Whoops. Okay, let's try that. Okay, type your first name. How old are you? My name is Jillian and I am 40 years old. Fantastic, you told me about myself. All right, so just some cool things you can play around with, and don't be afraid to Google stuff. If you are having problems with code or you have some questions, Google is a wealth of knowledge. I'm sure you know this already, but you can figure out how to do anything on Google. Especially with Python, you're going to want to experiment. Even professional computer programmers, they don't know every single thing in the world about programming, and new stuff is coming out every day, libraries and everything. So make sure you're Googling stuff and just testing stuff out and having fun with your code. All right, happy coding. Talk to you soon.